What's up guys, Perry from Rockville here, and today I'm going to teach you how to set up your RPG102K dual 10-inch powered PA system. As you can see, it comes with two speakers, one 10-inch active speaker that has the built-in mixer, and one 10-inch passive speaker, two speaker stands, a power cable, a 1/4-inch cable to connect the two speakers, a microphone with an XLR cable, mic clip and travel pouch, and a wireless remote control to control many of the features of the RPG102K. So the first thing we can do to set up our speakers is mount them onto the included stands. To do that, we'll first want to take each stand and loosen up this bottom knob here so we can spread the legs. Once you have the legs spread out the way you want, you can just tighten this knob back up to lock it in place. Next, to adjust the height of the stand, we're going to loosen the top knob here. After that, we can raise the pole up to a desired height. Once you found a position you like, you can insert your safety pin and then drop the pole for extra security. Lastly, we're going to tighten the knob back up to lock it in place. Remember, we're going to do the same exact thing for this next stand here. So next we can take our speakers and loosen the knobs here on the back so they can fit onto the stands. To mount the speakers, we're just going to line up the holes on the bottom of each speaker to the top of the pole of each stand, and then just slide it on. After that, we can tighten the knobs on the back of the speakers to secure them to the stands. If you need help mounting your speaker, make sure to have an additional person nearby. Now a quick note before we plug in our power cable, the RPG102K gives us the ability to switch the voltage from 115 volts to 230 volts. You would only want to use 230 volts if you live in a country that uses that voltage, but because we're based here in the US, we're going to leave it at 115 volts. So like mentioned before, we're going to use the included 1/4-inch cable to connect the two speakers together. We're going to take one end and plug that into the speaker out on the back of the active speaker. Then we're going to take the other end and plug it into the speaker in on the back of the passive speaker. So now let's go ahead and turn on our speaker. Next, let's go over how to set up the included microphone so you can sing or make announcements through the RPG102K. So you're going to take your XLR cable here, plug the female end into the microphone itself, then you'll take your male end and plug that into the mic input on the back of the speaker. I also want to point out that the mic input here is a combo jack that can take both XLR or 1/4-inch connections. So if you have an XLR to 1/4-inch cable, you can also use that to plug in your microphone. So next you'll want to raise this mic level knob right next to the input here, and then to hear your voice coming out of the speakers, you'll want to raise the volume knob here. So now if I turn on my microphone, you should be able to hear my voice coming out of both speakers. Now we can really dial in the overall sound coming out of our speakers through the treble and bass knobs. The treble knob will affect all of the high end, so if I raise that, check 1 2, check 1 2, you'll hear a lot more high end coming out of my voice. And if I lower it all the way down, check 1 2, check 1 2, you're not hearing any of that high end at all, but just all the low end. And the bass knob will affect all of the low end frequencies, so if I raise that all the way up, check 1 2, check 1 2, you're hearing a lot more low end there. And if I lower it all the way, check 1 2, check 1 2, you're not hearing much of that bass, but all high end. And don't forget, we can use the included mic clip to hold our microphone during performances. To do that, you'll just want to line up the threads of the mic clip to the mic stand like so, and then just screw it on. After that, we're free to slip on our microphone. Another great feature of the RPG102K is the Bluetooth compatibility, so we can wirelessly connect our smartphone or tablet to the speaker system. To do that, I'm going to start by switching the speaker to Bluetooth mode by pressing the mode button here. Then you'll take your device and go to the Bluetooth settings, search for the device that reads Rockville, click on it to pair, and you'll know your devices are connected when you hear that sound. Also keep in mind you'll need to raise the MP3 volume knob to hear your device, and the volume knob to hear everything coming out of the speakers. So let's hear how it sounds. Nice. Sounds really good. Plenty of high and low end, very nice. Now this combined with the microphone makes for an awesome karaoke setup. So while our device is connected, we can go to YouTube and look up any karaoke version of a song and start singing along as we read the lyrics from our screen at the same time. If you want more info on how to set this up, check out our whole video on YouTube karaoke. Some of the other ways we can play music through the speaker system is by plugging in a USB flash drive or SD card, or by switching the speaker system to the FM radio mode. Also worth mentioning, after you plug in your USB flash drive or SD card, the music will automatically play through the speaker system. From there, you can use the buttons underneath the display to control your music playback, or you can use the wireless remote control. Now we can expand our setup even further with the line input section and the line output section. The line input section also has a combo jack so it can take XLR or quarter-inch connections. There's also an RCA input so you can connect mixers, MP3 players, record players, and much more. So to demonstrate, I'm going to connect my Rockmix 10FX, which has an RCA output, right to my speaker system. So first I'm going to take an RCA to RCA cable. I'm going to take one end and plug it into the 2-track RCA output on my mixer. Then I'm going to take the other end and plug it into the RCA inputs here on my speaker. So next we'll want to raise the line level knob here on our speaker so that everything coming from our mixer is playing through our speaker system. I'm also going to want to raise the volume knob under that so we hear everything coming out of our speakers. So to check to make sure it's working, I'm going to connect my microphone to channel 1 here on my mixer. So now let's turn on our mixer. I'm going to raise the gain and the volume knob here for channel 1. I'm also going to raise the main mix knob here so that everything is coming through our mixer. I'm also going to want to raise this 2-track knob here so that the signal coming from our mixer is going out to our speaker system. So now if I turn on my microphone, you should be able to hear my voice letting us know that everything coming through the mixer is also coming through our speaker system. This is great for setups that require more than one channel to plug in microphones or instruments. Another benefit of this setup is that you can use the built-in EQs and the effects of your mixer and have everything coming out of your speaker system. We can even take it one step further and use the line output to set up an additional speaker or subwoofer. To demonstrate, I have my RBG18S subwoofer that I'm going to connect right into the speaker system. To do that, I'm going to take an XLR cable. I'm going to take the female end and plug that into the XLR line input on the back of my speaker. Then I'm going to take the male end and plug that into the left XLR line input on the back of my sub. So now that everything's connected and ready to go, we're first going to want to turn on our mixer, then we'll turn on our speaker system, and then we'll turn on our sub. So again, we'll want to raise the line level knob and the volume knob on the back of our speaker, then we'll want to raise the main mix knob and the 2-track knob on our mixer, and then we'll want to turn up the level here on our sub. And to check this setup, I'm going to connect my phone to the mixer through Bluetooth. So now let's play some music and hear how it sounds. So again, this is a great setup to use for a big professional event like concerts, live performances, and much more. So hopefully this showed you guys how easy it is to set up your RPG102K dual 10-inch powered PA system. But of course, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to reach out to our customer support team through phone or email. As always, I'm Perry from Rockville, and we'll see you guys next time.